Bartenders of Reddit, what is the smoothest pickup line you've ever heard? Story 1. Sort of an anti-pickup line, but I witnessed a drunk girl get decimated at the bar one night. She was hot, and one of those haha you're cute you should buy me a drink type girls. Some dumpy-looking dude walks up to the bar and orders a Corona, and she pulls the hole and put a rum and coke on there for me, insinuating that he should buy her next drink. He looked at her casually and says make it a rum and diet, and then just walks away. I was speechless. I'd never seen him before and haven't seen him since. Sometimes I wonder if he ever existed at all. Story 2. Not a good pickup line, but a good pickup line story. There's a classic which is putting an ice cube on the bar, smashing it with your fist and saying that's the ice broken, wanna get a drink? Well, an awkward friend of mine decided to try it, smashed the ice and managed to ricochet a piece of it into his own eye before being able to say the line, shouted a profanity and staggered off. The girl was pretty confused. Story 3. Shy girl regularly comes in with her friend, my coworker, and I are pretty chummy with them, so we are chatting all night, letting them try some of the new cocktails/shots our bar is trialing. We give them one particular shot and the friend says she doesn't like it too much and asks if it's the kind of drink my girlfriend likes. I was single. Shy girl picks up her shot, downs it and says yes, it is, then immediately runs out of the building in shyness. We've been dating almost 6 months now. Story 4. Bartender here. Best pickup I've ever seen was when a group of 3 dudes college-aged were at the bar, on my end. They started talking about this girl on the other side who is clearly the hottest girl in the bar. One of them jokingly said to another, if you can get her number without saying a word to her I'll buy you drinks the rest of the night. The kid who was dared waved me down, asked for a pen and napkin. He walked over and within 10 minutes came back over girl in hand asking his buddy who bet him for 2 patron shots. I asked him what he did and he showed me the napkin with her number. He played hangman on the napkin and spelt out, "Can I have your number?" And it actually worked. He and his girl were drinking heavily and for free the rest of the night. He also walked out with her, so I hope he scored. Story 5. Bartended in college. Guy walked up to a girl at the bar, goes, "Hi, my name is Ben, and I'm going to buy you drinks until you find me attractive." Girl smiled and laughed and he asked what she would like to drink. She looked him over, he was already very attractive, turned to me and said, "In that case, I'll have a water." He definitely got it that night. Story 6. Not the smoothest line ever, but the best one used on me. I work in a bar/restaurant in San Francisco and these 2 Australian girls came in. One had a boyfriend and she said, "I plan on getting so drunk that I get carried home tonight," and the single girl turned to me and said, "Maybe you could help me carry her?" Story 7. I met my current girlfriend while working behind a bar. She got way too drunk, so the next time she came up to order a drink I gave her a pint of water and told her she had enough. Her response? "Well, if you're not going to give me a drink, at least give me your number. We have a dog now." Story 8. Not a pickup line, but the smoothest thing I've seen from behind the mahogany. This guy was hitting on this girl at the end of the bar. She asked him, "You gonna bring me some roses?" And this man took 2 straws, a napkin, and a lighter, and I shit you not made a rose with it. You bet your ass she left with him. Kudos, sir. Story 9. I had a group of guys who were all hitting on me but were very funny and not annoying about it, a true rarity. When they paid, one left a few extra bucks after already having tipped me, on a napkin with his number saying "from the cute one." Then I noticed that one of the other guys left a $20 tip with his number and a note saying "from the cuter and smarter one." It cracked me up. The only time I considered reaching out to a customer because I wanted to say thanks for the laugh. Story 10. Not exactly a pickup line, but really clever/cool way a girl let me know she was interested. I noticed her on the opposite side of the bar and we smiled at each other. I was newly single, she was with a date and obviously bored. Still, she was with a date, and I'm not gonna interrupt and be that kind of douchebag. After a few minutes, I walked around to her side of the bar to head to the bathroom. She stopped me and said, "Here, your pocket square's messed up." She fumbled with it a sec, said all good, and I moved on to the restroom. I got home later and took my blazer off, noticed something was off with the pocket square. She had stealth stashed a napkin with her name and number. I texted that night and we went out later that week. 11 out of 10 was impressed with the smooth. Story 11. I work at a bar in Long Beach, New York. A female customer was giving me advice on how to hit on my bartender co-worker, female, who is a very close friend of mine. She kept feeding me adorable things to say to my friend because she thought we looked cute together. I thanked her and took one step toward my friend, then turned back to her and repeated it all back. She took the bait and it landed me back at her place. Story 12. I was in another country with friends, and I asked the waitress where the best bar in around was. When she started saying, "Oh, it depends on what you like," I asked her which one I'd likely find her at. My friends thought it was very smooth. I guess she did too. Story 13. A girl once bet that if she could fit an entire one of the cupcakes we sold in her mouth without using her hands, I would have to give it to her for free. She did, and I did. I was so impressed, I got her a free drink too. 6 years later, we're still together eating cupcakes and shit. Story 14. Not a bartender, but hooked up with one once. It was closing time and she said, "If you don't work here or banging the staff, time to leave." I leaned over and said, "I guess I'm staying." With the confidence only a recently divorced man could have. It worked, oddly enough. Story 15. I worked at a beach bar. I watched a young guy walk up to a smoking hot, tanned, female lifeguard and say, "Help, I can't breathe." She was legitimately concerned and asked him what was wrong. He said, "Looking at you takes my breath away." She was pissed for a second and began to laugh. They talked for a little, then exchanged numbers. Story 16. I cocktail at a bowling alley. A group of high school kids were bowling one night. A bunch of them had class of 2017 shirts or hoodies on. I got off work and walked to the front desk to clock off. One of the boys from that group walks up behind me with a bowling ball in each hand and asks if I can do him a favor. I was caught off guard and it was a little random, but I was like, sure? So he motions with one bowling ball hand to his hoodie pocket and asks me to grab his phone out for him, and I'm a little skeptical, but I reach in with my pointer and thumb and grab it and set it on the counter for him and continue to clock out. But then the kid says, "Wait, can you unlock it for me?" So, I do. And then he asks me to go to the phone, dial, "Actually, will you go to the contacts? Now, just put in your number for me." I feel so terrible. I'm pretty sure I humiliated the poor kid, but I apologized and told him that I'm married. He was a cute boy, and 10 years ago when I was just getting out of high school that would totally have worked on me. Story 17. I am not a bartender, but I saw this happen at a bar. I was sitting at a table with two of my friends, one girl, one guy. Some guy I have never seen before comes over, places 3 beers, one in front of each of us, and proceeds to start talking to my female friend. I assumed it was just one of her friends I had never met. It took me a solid 5 minutes to figure out this guy was a stranger, and then I was blown away with how smooth of a move that was. Story 18. There was a new bartender who had just started at the local ale house, just an absolutely stunning girl. When I ordered, she kindly asked for my ID. One of the other bartenders waved her off and the interaction unfolded like so. "Oh, he's a regular, you don't need to card him." New girl, "Oh, I would just feel better if I did." Me, "It's cool if you want to know my address, it's not far from here." Cue the blushing. 10 out of 10 smoothest I've ever been. Thank you for watching. Please leave your stories in the comments. I would love to make videos with them in the future. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.